You have probably heard the inspiring tales of numerous notable people who overcame adversity to achieve fame and fortune. A similar individual is featured in today's video. Friends, the difference between this person's narrative and the other is that he entered a brand new industry. The cartoon starring Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Pluto, and Oswald and Lucky Rabbit must have captured your attention as a child. And you must have watched a lot of these movies in their early stages, where Walt Disney Studios and Disneyland might be seen in the backdrop. So friends, the majority of you must have asked themselves at that time, what is this Walt Disney? By now, you must be aware that Walt Disney, a former producer of these movies, goes by that name. However, did you know that he was also an animator, writer, and voice actor, in addition to being regarded as one of the pioneers of animated cartoon movies?
After all, who was this individual and how did he come up with the concept to launch such a distinctive and unique line of business? How many Oscars has Walt Disney won in total? How many other cartoon characters than Mickey Mouse has he created? How did Walt come up with the concept for creating Disney World, the biggest theme park in the world, and how much money did he spend on it? What was concealed in Walt Disney's final remarks? We shall learn everything about this in today's video.
Walt Disney was born on December 5, 1901 in the city of US, Chicago. Disney's father was a regular guy who worked 2 or 3 different jobs throughout his life to help support his family. Even he distributed newspapers from house to house. Friends, Walt Disney has always enjoyed creating cartoons and drawing. He once made an effort to create various cartoons on newspapers that were delivered to his house. Then while still in school, he met a classmate who gave Disney his first introduction to motion film, or in simple words, film. Films are very common these days, but friends, since these things were so new and it being the beginning of the 20th century, virtually little was known about them. Disney has started animation classes at a university. Later on, he also started drawing cartoons for his school newspaper.
Additionally, he created some cartoons about the First World War. He was hired in 1919 by a Kansas commercial art firm, where he also produced cartoons for theater productions and ads. He was 18 years old at the time.
In Kansas, Disney and his friend established a cartoon animation company in 1920. They initially had trouble finding clients. Both eventually quit their company and joined a new one. My friends, this company used to produce animated cartoons. Disney began to become interested in animation in a similar manner and picked up some fresh techniques from reading books. Then he launched his own company once more, established a studio, and this time a nearby theater contacted him. Disney used lithograms and unique animation techniques to produce short animated films. Disney's animated cartoon enjoyed huge popularity for 2 years, and he expanded his company's staff of animators. Following that, Disney produced a second 12-minute animated movie that we are all known as Alice's World. It also took inspiration from the well-known children's book Alice in Wonderland.
Following the release of Alice's Wonderland, Disney was still losing money in 1923. Disney had shut down, and about the same time, he relocated from Kansas to Los Angeles, where he accepted a fantastic offer and signed a deal with a movie distributor. Following that, Disney and his brothers established the Disney Brothers Studio in Los Angeles. The company was renamed Walt Disney Company 3 years later. These days, it goes under the name Disney Studio. Then 2 additional seasons of Alice in Wonderland were produced, which was popular.
Most people agree that Mickey Mouse was Disney's first animated creation. However, it's not really like that. Mickey Mouse was another one of his Disney's characters. His debut performance was in Oswald the Lucky Rabbit in 1927 Universal Pictures production. The relationship between Disney and Universal Pictures, however, took a slight turn for the worse due to a recent event. They also declined to pay Disney his money. Taking note of the situation, Disney debuted a new character who quickly surpassed the old one in popularity, and this was Mickey Mouse, who is still loved by people all around the world. Another character was introduced by Disney in 1934. It was Donald Duck. Interestingly, Disney was inspired to create this character after hearing a poem read aloud by a strange-sounding individual. In other words, Disney's imagination for a cartoon character was ignited by his voice.
It wouldn't be incorrect to claim that Disney was one of the first to include sounds into animated films. The first animated film produced by the Disney Studio was used in 1928. Following this film, Disney received more work and he signed contracts with a lot of businesses.
Walt Disney produced a cartoon in 1929 titled The Skeleton Dance. Nine Old Men was the next film, and it was favorably appreciated. Then in 1932, Disney used color for the first time in its animated picture, featuring flowers and trees. In other words, up until this point, all of these movies were in black and white. This animated movie was also honored. Additionally, Disney received recognition for designing Mickey Mouse. Up to this point, Disney had hired more than 200 people for his business. However, up to this point, he only had made short films. He advanced and started making Snow White and Seven Dwarfs in 1934. The production of this movie lasted 3 years and $15 million were spent. Disney used a lot of innovative animation methods in this 1.5 hour movie.
This movie is still regarded as one of the best ones ever made. Disney made $65 million from it in the first 2 years. Pinocchio and Fantasia were subsequent Disney productions. However, they were not particularly well appreciated. However, Dumbo received favorable feedback.
Dear friends, Walt Disney had a vision of building a fantastic park that people of all ages could enjoy, where they can also feel as though they have arrived in an illusory place. Disney accomplished his dream in 1955 by launching a park in California. Its construction cost $1.07 billion. The area of Disneyland is thought to be greater than 100 acres. In its opening year, Disneyland saw 6 million visitors.
Walt Disney passed away from lung cancer in 1966 at the age of 65. It's interesting to note that before he passed away, Disney had written Kurt Russell next to the name of a young actor. According to reports, this was a sign that the child actor's contract shouldn't be dissolved. The Disney studio persisted in flying success flags even after Disney. Roy Disney, Walt Disney's brother, took over the corporation. Now their primary goal was to create live-action movies or movies with actual human characters as opposed to animated movies. This voyage of the Disney studio is still going strong today, and Disney has created numerous blockbuster movies like Frozen, Frozen 2, Tangled, The Lion King and Moana, among many others.
We hope you enjoyed today's video.
That's it for today.
Bye for now.